When a man wounds a woman chosen by God, heaven does not stay silent. Because when she's covered in prayer, molded through pain, and anointed for purpose, hurting her is not just an offense against emotion, it's an offense against calling. You cannot mistreat what God has marked and still expect peace to follow. In this message, we'll uncover 5 consequences that unfold when a man hurts a chosen woman, not because God seeks revenge, but because he defends what he loves. 1. Conviction will chase him. The first consequence is conviction. A man may walk away thinking the story is over, but heaven begins its pursuit. Conviction is not punishment, it is mercy wearing the voice of discomfort. It's that uneasy stirring in the soul that refuses to fade, no matter how busy his days become or how loud his laughter sounds. He can delete her name, mute the memories, drown himself in success, but conviction walks beside him like a silent companion he can't shake off. This is how divine justice begins, not with thunder, but with a whisper that says, "Stop before this seed grows into sorrow." Conviction is the early alarm of God's grace. It warns before destruction, it taps before collapse. There will be nights when he stares at the ceiling, wondering why peace left his house even when everything looks fine on the outside. That's not coincidence, that's consequence. To the woman listening, do not chase explanations. Your silence allows God to speak on your behalf. When you stop fighting for closure, heaven starts fighting for you. Because conviction can reach places your words never could. Key line, before God judges, he nudges. Conviction is mercy's first knock. 2. His favor begins to fade. The second consequence is the fading of favor. Favor and foolishness can never share the same roof. There are seasons when everything flows, open doors, answered prayers, divine peace. But when a man dishonors a woman who carried light into his life, he steps out of alignment with that flow. What once felt easy now becomes heavy. Opportunities that used to find him suddenly vanish. Peace that once surrounded him now feels distant. He might blame stress, timing, or people, but the truth is spiritual. He lost favor when he lost honor. When a man disconnects from a woman walking closely with God, he disconnects from a channel of grace that once covered him. Because through her compassion, patience, and prayer, blessings often flowed into his world. But dishonor builds a wall where favor once ran like a river. At first, it happens slowly. Then one day he realizes the applause feels hollow, his success feels empty, and joy feels out of reach. That is not a curse, that is the quiet withdrawal of heaven's endorsement. If he wants peace again, he must rebuild what pride destroyed. And to the woman, don't grieve over the closed door. Sometimes God lets favor fade in his life to reveal what you truly carried in yours. Key line, you can't mistreat grace and still expect it to bless you. 3. God elevates her in silence. The third consequence is God's silent elevation. When she was betrayed, it looked like her story ended, but in heaven, the next chapter had just begun. Silence is never absence, it is divine preparation. In silence, God separates her from noise, the noise of opinions, the noise of memories, the noise of pain. He removes distractions so she can hear his whisper again. During this quiet season, everything changes, not on the outside, but deep within. Her tears turn into oil, her pain becomes wisdom, her heartbreak becomes the birthplace of purpose. People may think she's finished, but God is shaping her for the unveiling. He's restoring her confidence, her courage, her peace. And when the time comes, those who watched her fall will witness her rise. Like a seed beneath the soil, Unseen, but growing stronger every day, she's being prepared for sunlight. God hides her before He highlights her. So if you're in that quiet place, don't panic. Your silence is not your weakness, it's your sanctuary. He's rebuilding you in private so He can reveal you in power. Key line: elevation requires separation. God hides you before He highlights you. 4. God sends a divine replacement. The fourth consequence is divine replacement. Heaven never leaves a faithful heart empty. When someone walks away, it can feel like loss. But sometimes God removes what drains you to make space for what will develop you. A woman once said, "Losing him was the moment I met peace." Because when she stopped begging for what God dismissed, her healing began. And in time, God sent someone new, not a replica, but a reflection of redemption. Someone who didn't see her as broken, but as chosen. Someone who honored what the last one ignored. That is how divine replacement works. It's not revenge, it's restoration. It's not about proving worth, it's about receiving what's worthy. The same God who allowed the door to close is the one preparing a new one to open. But He won't let you step into covenant if you're still clinging to counterfeits. To the women listening, stop mourning what God has already replaced with peace. And to the men, never despise what you once devalued, because when God restores her, He raises her to a place you can no longer reach. Key line: what walked away was never meant to stay. 5. Her prayers carry power. The fifth consequence is the power of her prayer. There is nothing more powerful than the intercession of a wounded believer who still chooses faith. Her pain deepens her prayers. Her tears become petitions. Her silence becomes a song heaven cannot ignore. When she prays, chains break in unseen places. Families are healed. Generations are redirected. Because pain mixed with faith creates a sound that moves the heart of God. Her prayer is not about revenge, it's about redemption. She doesn't pray for payback, she prays for peace. And through that forgiveness, her spirit gains authority that bitterness could never hold. Every heartbreak she surrendered becomes a seed for harvest. Every sleepless night becomes fuel for intercession. That is why no weapon formed against her can prosper, because she doesn't fight back with anger. She fights back with prayer. Key line: tears are invisible ink. Heaven reads what the world ignores. Hurting a chosen woman doesn't end her story, it activates it. It turns her pain into purpose, her rejection into redirection, her heartbreak into healing. God never wastes pain. Every tear that fell in secret becomes a seed for restoration. Every betrayal becomes training for blessing. So to the woman listening, your story isn't over. And to the man who feels convicted, grace is still available. Because the same God who corrects also restores. If this message spoke to your spirit, type in the comments, "God is restoring me in silence." And remember, when you honor what God values, heaven honors you. Like, share, and subscribe to Bible Refuge, where truth from Scripture meets the heart of real life. God bless you.